Hello and welcome, whether you are returning or joining this channel for the first time. It is so good to have you. Before we dive into today's video, I do have to address a couple of things here. First, it's obviously been a while since I've uploaded. For those of you who aren't aware, I actually had a pretty severe migraine attack at the end of March and beginning of April, and that's why I didn't post any readings last month. I really tried to get stuff out to all of you, and even after the migraine attack, I was in what's called a postdrome or migraine hangover, and it was really just difficult to express myself, and that's actually what I was having before I had my attack as well. So hopefully if this ever does happen to me again, this was the first time it's ever happened, I'll at least be able to know the signs. However, this sort of does lead me into the second announcement that I feel like I need to make. I really do feel that moving forward, I am going to separate the tarot and astrology into different videos for the signs. So I will still be uploading, and in fact, potentially uploading more. But it really just became very apparent with this migraine attack that I've put myself under so much stress and strain, and I've really tried to fit everything into these neat little boxes, and honestly, it's very challenging for me to do, and I feel like moving forward, I would really like to go back kind of to the root of where I began, where it was more of an intuitive style read, while still also using astrology as well, because I do feel like they're both very useful tools that can help orient a lot of things for us. And so I think sometimes too these messages can get just like repetitive, and of course I feel like whenever I do a tarot reading, it's always going to incorporate astrological elements anyways. That's just how my brain works. But I think it's nice to kind of dial that back and just let that more flow in naturally. So that might be something that may not even be much of a big deal to all of you. Maybe it's just kind of a bigger deal to me because I put a lot of pressure on myself. So I appreciate all the support that you have given this channel, and actually a lot of people did reach out to me, ask me how I was doing, and I really, really appreciate that. If you would like to support this channel, definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification. That not only helps you stay up to date with what's in the cards for you, but it also helps spread these messages and energies that you may think be helpful for other people. So they're kind of your tools as well. And I do have a link in the description of this video for my website where you can book a personal reading or distance Reiki session, as well as links for all of my other social media accounts. Hey Virgo, so this is honestly the second time that I've recorded your reading. The first time I honestly felt like I was just in another dimension and it didn't really feel that practical, so we're trying this again, and the energy here really does feel quite interesting. The first couple of cards that I pulled were the Five of Cups and the Knight of Wands, and I will take a closer look. We'll pull some more cards in just a moment, but these came out while I was tuning into your energy and really shuffling the deck. And what I got from this is the Five of Cups makes me feel like that you are in a very emotional place. You're kind of in your feelings. And it's interesting because I feel like on the outside, you're actually coming across as this Knight of Wands. There's some exciting stuff going on in your life, or there's some sort of new venture for you. It's kind of like embodying Sagittarius energy. Now, some of you may be feeling depressed or feeling strongly about a Sagittarius here, but this feels like you. And we did have a lot go on in the month of April. We did have 2 eclipses. Well, technically it was March and April. But we also had Mercury retrograde, which is your ruling planet. So there were some breakdowns in communication, and I do think that there were some really deep feelings that were coming up because Aries represents your astrological 8th house of secrets, investments, sex, death, rebirth. So there really is a lot that went on beneath the surface. But despite this, Virgo, I feel like people on the outside might not be seeing that. And maybe this is even feeling a bit disconnected for you. So very interesting energy so far. I'm very curious to see what else we have in store for you, Virgo. Really looking at the astrology in the first part of May, there's honestly not a lot going on. I do apologize that these are coming out a bit later than expected. I think some important things to kind of keep in mind. We do have Pluto going retrograde on May 2nd, and it's going to be retrograde through most of the year. And it's going retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, but actually going to be going back into Capricorn later towards, like, I want to say September or October. And that's going to kind of be the last time that Pluto is in Capricorn for over 200 years. And it entered Capricorn in about 2008. So there could be some sort of cycle that is wrapping up. It's actually funny that we do get the Six of Cups, which is often about reconnecting with the past. Maybe there is this feeling of nostalgia, but I do feel like some of you are going to be wrapping up cycles. But again, this is such a long-term transit. You may not even really be feeling this much in the month of May. I really do get the sense, though, like, there is this need to reconnect with something. And it's actually interesting that you do have the Five of Cups and then the Six of Cups. I like to pay attention to kind of ascending or descending cards like that. So it feels like you are kind of coming out of this very emotional place and really reconnecting with what matters. And this is actually kind of coming in as the advice for you, which is quite interesting. And maybe there is something about travel. I did talk about Sagittarius energy earlier, and we are in Taurus season, which for you is your astrological ninth house of travel, higher education, even spirituality and worldviews. So you might be reviewing old ways of looking, or maybe going back to spiritual practices, or just kind of reviewing your philosophies. That could be one way of looking at this, but I really do feel like emotionally you're actually healing something, because the Six of Cups is a very healing energy, and maybe you're doing that by reconnecting with an old friend, or maybe even an old lover, someone who knows you very well, maybe even someone who has known you since childhood, Virgo. And that could also be that Sagittarius energy too. Interesting. We do have the Seven of Wands kind of coming in very central here, which is quite interesting because it feels like you are holding something off, defending something, defending yourself. What is the Seven of Wands representing for Virgo this month? Interesting. We have the Seven of Wands and Strength card coming out. There may be some sort of conflict. You may be even feeling a bit defensive, but with the Strength card, this really does speak about being restrained. Strength card is all about emotional strength, emotional composure. And there may be people coming back from the past who are maybe upset with you or just triggered by you for some reason. Whoever this energy is with the Seven of Wands, I really do feel like it's just important that you only engage when you feel grounded. I'm actually getting a message, Virgo. Some of you are going to be hearing back from an ex or a person you were involved with in the past, and it feels like you hurt their feelings, and you may not actually know that you did that. And it may feel like, why is this person so tense with me? And maybe even in your perspective, it's like, this person hurt me. Why are they saying that I hurt them? That is something that I just am getting through spirit right now. I mean, these are general readings, so obviously not all of these messages will apply to each and every one of you, but I feel like for a lot of you, you could be hearing back from someone. We do actually have Mars conjunct Neptune at the beginning of May as well. This actually was end of April. in the sign of Pisces, which can stir up kind of spiritual conflicts or emotional conflicts, and it can almost feel a little delusional as well. So you could still be feeling that energy into May as well. What else do we have for Virgo? Wow, we do have the Magician. So this is actually a really powerful time for you to do some manifestation work. And sometimes people come back from the past, or people kind of come through the woodwork when they almost sense that there's something good coming for you. There's something kind of in your orbit, and it's almost like people want to ride that wave, and this is very subconscious. People might not know why they're doing this. So if it feels like there's a lot of attention on you, especially from people from the past coming back, it's almost like this sign that you are about to manifest something really, really powerful, and people want in on that energetically as well. What is this manifestation for Virgo? Interesting, Seven of Cups. It could be opportunities, like multiple options, actually. A lot of the time, Seven of Cups is like this sort of confusing energy, this very dreamy energy. And I do feel like it is important to manifest with visualization when this card comes out, to kind of even do like dream work or visualization exercises. And maybe you're still figuring out what it is that you really want. But I do feel like you are manifesting new opportunities. And that's making some people feel very defensive or triggered, which says kind of more about where they may be at. They may be feeling very stuck, or like they're not very free to do things. Wow, again, Five of Wands. I mean, with Mars in the sign of Pisces for a good part of May, there really could just be other people who are kind of having conflict with you. And even on the 19th, Mars comes together with the North Node in Aries. This is a very kind of heightened energy as well. There could just be a lot of anger. We do also have Mercury, your ruling planet, coming together with Chiron in Aries on May 6th. So this could also be a time where there's these kind of healing conversations, but also like a nerve being touched. It's a very sensitive energy with Chiron. But I do feel like you are manifesting new opportunities, especially for travel and for education, or something that just kind of expands your world in some way. And you're stepping into a new chapter. And particularly with Venus and Jupiter coming together in Taurus as well on the 23rd. This is actually the same day as the full moon in Sagittarius. Interesting. This could actually be about you moving, and maybe moving very far away. And honestly, Virgo, part of me wonders that maybe this person is kind of coming back from the past, and it's sort of giving you like pause. Wait, do I actually want to move? Do I actually want to go forward? I feel like you do. Being totally honest, this person kind of feels like a little bit of a test, if I'm just being completely blunt. It feels like very lucky energy. Venus-Jupiter conjunction is actually one of the luckiest days in the entire year. And so really doing some sort of manifestation work on the 23rd, even though this is a full moon, there might even be a manifestation coming true. And with a full moon in Sagittarius, there could be some sort of emotional chapter that is coming to an end, or even an ending in your home or family, which is why I really do think some of you may actually be moving. And maybe this is even about a new job. Maybe some of you are relocating for a new job. I also kind of see that astrologically as well. But it feels like you have some options here. You have some choices to make. Anything else for Pisces? The Empress. Yes, you are becoming very, very abundant, Virgo. And I think even with the eclipses that we had last month, there's already this new chapter in abundance for you, something that's going to kind of be unfolding over the next 5 months or so, really until we are in the next eclipse season. So this feels like a very abundant, beautiful, and creative energy. The Empress quite literally represents Venus, so again, Venus coming together with Jupiter is a very important thing. We actually have a lot of conjunctions happening at the end of this month. We have Mars coming together with Chiron, so these two planets we were talking about earlier actually will be making contact in the sign of Aries. Again, this could be where this maybe kind of conflict or like heated exchange is coming into play as well. So just kind of keep that on your radar. Don't get swept up in that aggressive energy. That may be kind of the challenge for you. We do also have Mercury coming together with Uranus in Taurus. That's happening on the 29th. So again, end of this month, there could be some very unexpected news about travel or some huge kind of perspective shift or awakening, because Mercury, your ruling planet, represents the conscious mind, communication, and Uranus is actually referred to as the higher octave of Mercury. So it's like the lower mind is joining together with the higher mind, and that's actually very magician here as well, coming together between the lower and upper planes, the lower and upper worlds. There's a very strong manifestation energy that comes with this for you. And it feels like spiritually you are actually very powerful right now, but for some reason there are people who are just being very triggered by you. Anything else for Virgo? Any blessings? Any other goodness coming for Virgo? Wow, 10 of Pentacles. Yes, there is some major abundance. This could be a new job, a new home. 10 of Pentacles is really about security that's not just for yourself, but also for your future. It's kind of the intergenerational wealth card. So it does feel like you are building up your finances this month. There's a lot of growth that is happening this month or beginning this month that feels really, really good. So if there has been some sort of financial struggle, it does feel like that's really, really improving for you in the month of May. And I mean, Taurus energy, just generally speaking, is often about money and abundance. And even if you feel like you don't have the resources, there are opportunities that are coming in. There is still an abundance of opportunities, because that can really take any number of forms, this kind of wealth, if you will. There could be a wealth of opportunities, spiritual wealth, emotional wealth, but I do feel like for many of you, finances are also improving. You're really kind of stepping into your legacy, right? Which feels very much like aligning with your purpose. Is there anything else for Virgo? I think I want to end off on an animal card for you. Ooh, interesting. We have the starfish. And why this is so interesting is because this can sometimes indicate a person or energy that is on the surface very beautiful, very captivating, very enchanting, but there's not always a lot of depth there. And in fact, this could be kind of a reference to a shallow energy or shallow person, because starfish are often kind of in the shallows. And that might be energy around you. And it's very interesting because a lot of the time when I pull animal cards, I do pull for energies that you are to embody, but I didn't even say that, I don't think, as I was pulling this card. This does not feel like your energy. And it feels like you have dreams that you want to actualize, and maybe you haven't taken them seriously because the people around you haven't really gone off the beaten path in life or haven't really followed their dreams. And that's why there's some people who could be resisting you. And that's kind of like a group normalization. There's an expression, crabs in the barrel, where it's like when one crab tries to crawl out of a barrel, the other crabs pull them down as they're trying to get out. And this is actually kind of based off of a true phenomena where fishermen don't even need to put a lid on a barrel because the crabs will just keep pulling themselves down. So I do kind of get this energy with starfish, and it does sort of feel like you may need to distance yourself from these people or from these energies, or there's just people who don't know how to support that because they don't really have context for it themselves. But I do feel like you have really exciting and life-changing opportunities coming in for you, Virgo. Any other animal messages for Virgo this month? Wow, we have the unicorn, which is all about the third eye. You are very intuitive, and I know at the very beginning I was talking about like being in another dimension, but I was almost getting this like high priestess energy, and I got that with the magician as well. Really working with your third eye, trusting your vision, and also visualizing. We already talked about that, but this is very, very important for you this month. And a lot of the time with the unicorn, it's like we kind of doubt what's realistic or what is real. Is what I'm seeing even a reality? And it's important that you trust your intuition, that you trust this journey, and that you look deeper. And even looking deeper into the core wound of a conflict, because it feels like people are kind of fighting about petty stuff around you. Maybe that's not even with you, but I do feel like, Virgo, there's just something about your energy that's rubbing people in kind of a triggering way. But with the unicorn, it really is about getting to the heart of things, seeing the truth of things. And you're really aligning with things that you want. And I feel like some of you are reconnecting with dreams or aspirations from when you were younger. Coming back to the Six of Cups feels very connected as well. And there's something about your life purpose there. And some of you are embarking on a learning or process of discovery. Gaining the skills, gaining the knowledge, gaining the wisdom that is going to help you fulfill your life purpose. And there are many opportunities that this could take the form of. So really, really powerful and interesting energy. You will definitely have to let me know, Virgo, what it is that's coming in for you this month, what this new beginning is all about, and maybe even kind of talking about where this conflict is coming from. It's very, very interesting, and maybe just typing it out can help you understand a little deeper what's going on. I do hope that this was helpful. Definitely be sure to hit like and subscribe, especially if you've made it this far to the end. All that support does help this channel and helps me continue putting out these messages, so it's greatly appreciated. And of course, you can find the link for my website and all of my social media accounts. You can book me for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Virgo, and have a happy and blessed May.